Welcome to today's meditation. Find a comfortable position and let your eyes close when you're ready. Before we begin, a brief reflection on today's theme. Maria Rilke wrote, "Let everything happen to you, beauty and terror. Just keep going. No feeling is final." We spend so much energy trying to control the size of our experience, making ourselves smaller to fit into cramped days, shrinking our dreams to match our fears, cutting off parts of ourselves to avoid being too much. But what if you stopped contracting? What if you let yourself be as big as you actually are? Not louder, not more demanding, just less apologetic about taking up space. Today, we practice expanding into our full size. Start by noticing the space you're in right now, the physical space around your body. You don't need to change your position or adjust anything. Just feel the air around you, the room extending in all directions. Most of the time, we live contracted, hunched over screens, pulled inward, compressed. Not just physically, emotionally contracted, mentally tight. What if you could expand just a little? Not by doing something, but by releasing the grip. Notice your breath without trying to control it. On the inhale, there's a natural expansion. Your lungs fill. Your ribs widen. On the exhale, there's a natural release. Not collapse, release. Your body already knows how to expand and contract. It's been doing it your whole life. Think about how you move through your day. How often do you make yourself smaller? Holding back what you really think. Dimming your excitement so you don't seem too enthusiastic. Apologizing for needing things. Shrinking your presence so others feel more comfortable. We learn to contract, to fit in, to not be too much, too loud, too needy, too intense. But what gets lost when you're always making yourself smaller? Your actual size. The full range of who you are. Your curiosity, your enthusiasm, your grief, your joy, all of it compressed into something manageable. Expansiveness isn't about taking up more space aggressively. It's not about being louder or demanding more attention. It's about stopping the constant effort to be less than you are. Watch what happens when you stop contracting, not forcing expansion, just releasing the grip. Let your shoulders drop. Let your jaw soften. Let your belly be soft instead of held. This is physical expansion, simple, available right now. But there's another kind of expansion happening here. What if you stopped shrinking your emotions? What if you let yourself feel the full size of what you're feeling? Not acting on every emotion, not letting it dictate your behavior, but not cutting it off either. Just letting it be as big as it actually is. We spend so much energy trying to make feelings smaller. It's not that bad. Other people have it worse. I shouldn't feel this way. All of that is contraction. Trying to compress something that wants to expand. What would it feel like to just let the feeling be its actual size? Not indulging it, not wallowing in it. Just allowing it to occupy the space it needs. Anger is allowed to be big. Joy is allowed to be big. Grief is allowed to be big. You don't have to shrink them to be acceptable. The same goes for your thoughts. How often do you dismiss your own ideas before they're fully formed? That's stupid. That won't work. Who am I to think that? Contraction again. Cutting off possibility before it has room to expand. What if you gave your thoughts more space? Not believing every thought, not acting on every idea, but letting them exist without immediately shutting them down. Expansiveness is spaciousness. Room to be uncertain. Room to change your mind. Room to not have it all figured out. Most of us are living in cramped mental spaces. Rigid beliefs, fixed identities, narrow definitions of who we're allowed to be. But you're bigger than that. You contain contradictions. You can be strong and scared at the same time, confident and uncertain, generous and tired. You don't have to pick one and shrink the rest. You can be all of it. Notice the space around you again. The room you're in. Can you feel how much space there actually is? Even in a small room, there's more space than you usually notice. Above you, below you, all around you. Now notice the space inside you. Not just your physical body, but the internal landscape. Your thoughts arise in space. Your feelings move through space. Your breath fills space. That space is always there. You just forget about it when you're contracted. What are you not allowing yourself right now? What part of you is being compressed? Maybe it's a dream you've dismissed as unrealistic. Maybe it's a feeling you've decided is inconvenient. Maybe it's a need you've labeled as too much. What would happen if you gave that part of you more room? Expansiveness doesn't mean everything gets easier. Sometimes it's harder. When you stop shrinking your grief, you feel the full weight of it. When you stop compressing your desires, you have to face what you actually want. When you stop making yourself smaller, you have to deal with other people's reactions. But the alternative is living in a box you built to protect yourself. And eventually, that box becomes a cage. You are not too much. Your feelings are not too much. Your needs are not too much. Your presence is not too much. You've just been taught to believe that taking up space is a problem. But the world doesn't need you smaller. It needs you actual size. Feel your breath again. That natural rhythm of expansion and release. Your body doesn't apologize for breathing. It doesn't try to make the inhale smaller so it doesn't bother anyone. It just expands and releases again and again. You can live like that too, not forcing yourself to be bigger, not performing expansion, just stopping the constant effort to be less. What would change if you walked through the world without apologizing for your size? Not your physical size, but the size of your presence, your impact, your existence. You don't have to shrink to make room for others. There's enough space for everyone to be full size. This is what we're practicing today. Not achieving some expanded state. Just noticing where you're contracted and releasing the grip. Over and over. In your body, in your thoughts, in your feelings. Expansion, release. That's the rhythm. Let this practice carry into your day. Not as a grand transformation, but as a simple question. Where am I making myself smaller than I need to be? In a conversation, in a decision, in how you move through a room. Can you stop contracting? Can you let yourself be your actual size? Not just in meditation, but in everything. Begin to notice the sounds around you. The temperature of the air. The surface beneath you. No rush. Take your time. When you're ready, let your awareness expand outward into the space around you, into the rest of your day. And whenever you're ready, you can open your eyes. Thank you for practicing with me today. See you next time, because meditation should be free.